Okay, gang, here's a 1959 Mercedes Benz Ponton 190 diesel I got in a trade. Went to go visit a gal I know who had a Benz for sale and told me about this one, and here it is. It's a really neat car. It's sat in a guy's storage unit for 15 years. Did absolutely nothing with it other than gather a bunch of parts up. There's some floorboard rust. Tires are shot. Take a look. It looks like he's pulled the wheel. What are those goddamn things called? Looks like he pulled these cylinders out for the door locks. So you have to go in like this to open it. And that explains why he left the window unrolled like that. So you can put your hand in there and actuate that. So here's the interior. It looks like it is missing the horn. The Blaupunk or Becker radio, long gone. Leather seats are pretty toast. Windshield's intact. That's a $700 to $2,500 windshield if you can find them, and that's intact. That's probably the value of the car right there. And here's the rear. Here's all the chrome. Car is really dirty from sitting for 15 years. That is an extra rear window. You'll probably find 100 rear windows before you find one front that's intact. This could be a site of some rust. Right there, that is an issue. Water goes down here to here, creates that rust. And this car is sat outside so that at some time in its life, so the top of the seats are chewed up. Looks like an ivory interior with a red exterior, walking around it. This is just some of the stuff I pulled out from it. Luckily there's two more seats, and there's a whole nother bench seat assembly. I can use that on another Benz I've got. And a mountain of parts. Door parts, interior door parts, and 190 diesel. Here's the rear of it. It's actually pretty good. What's amazing are these lamps are intact. Usually those are smashed, and even these little side lamps are intact. I'll lift it up, and of course there's no keys. No keys for the doors, the trunks, the gas door lever, or of course the ignition. And the guy bought a bunch of window roll-up trim, lots of it's expensive stuff, and another set of front lamp assemblies that I can use on another car. And those are the fins or ribs for the front grille. There's a mountain of stuff the guy had. Here's looks like a floor pan for the rear seat area, and it's a Utah. That looks like it was last registered in Utah in '87. There is a very, very hard to find, I think it's a Hirschman antenna. And there is a quarter panel. I've got 3 of these cars. I'm not going to need it, so look for it on eBay. And here is the car from this side. Not bad at all. That is the one hubcap, and I'll be using it on another car. All the chrome trim it looks to be here. Tires are toast. So walking around, these little beehives are intact. Looks like somebody took the Mercedes emblem. Like I said, the big deal is the windshield's intact. That's huge. And the bumpers, doesn't look like it's ever had any impact damage. Look underneath here. I'm not current on any tetanus shots. So this is where the heater box would have been. It would have been right down this panel here. Right here. It is gone. So it has to be a late 5960 because the glow plug assemblies are on the driver's side. And I don't know what the hell this is. Something this guy's hooked up. That is his version of a heater box, and who knows what that came out of. And it looks like a real amateur plumbing job. I hope the rest of the car isn't like this. But there would be a heater box right here, and the whole assembly for that would be here. There's a nameplate which I can't really make out. I have to clean it to read it. There is a lamp that is intact, and the other one looks to be intact. There's the radiator. These are really simple cars to service and get them running. That would be the battery tray. So it looks to be really not bad. I believe it had 50,000 some odd miles on it. These heater boxes are really expensive, and I really don't know why, because it's you can pretty much bone them out of all kinds of different cars and cannibalize them and use them. Look at that clearance for that fan blade against the radiator, and that's an aluminum fan blade. Lots of nice stuff on this car. And let's see, I have to do this to get in. And notice there are no door pockets. Why? Who knows? Look at those seats. They are hammered. And there's the floor pan. Looking at this bad boy. Looks like we were at 50,438 miles. That could be the first time, that could be the second time. These Benz cars go forever until you just don't maintain them anymore. Okay, notice that? Steering's locked up. What the fuck do you do? I'll show you. You get underneath here, like right about here. Right in this area here, you're going to find a big U-bolt. Just undo that U-bolt, and that will free that whole steering column up. It's probably underneath all this. It's hard to see. You know what? It's right behind here. There's two nuts right there. You're going to unscrew those two nuts. That's going to slip down, and you've undone the steering lock. And unfortunately, another car missing the, I believe it's a Neiman ignition key. And so what I will do until I get keys, if I keep this car, is I'll just make a hot wire switch. And so I'll just turn the switch on, and that'll fire up the car. And yeah, pretty neat. Looks like this is the top wood trim. And look at that steering wheel. That was in there with a bunch of other stuff. Not going to need it. I've got 3 cars, and all of them have decent steering wheels, so I'll probably be selling that one. But that is an early one. So let's take a look at that. See how small that is right there, okay? And see how large that is there? So that's the early steering wheel for Mercedes Benz Ponton. This is the later one, which I want to say is late 59 or 60 and later. I don't know how many years they did that. Really not bad. You know, I know the seats look rough, but you know what? They're not broken in half. And let's go walk around some more, see if this will open. Yeah, there you go. Smoking, isn't that great? What a great way to get lung cancer, huh? All kinds of wonderful diseases come with smoking. Look at all that chrome. It's like they just pulled all this chrome off, and just were going to do something, and it got away from them. And let's see, yes indeed, look at that, it says diesel. Isn't that cool? And there's a bitchin' cool license, hubcap, Mercedes Benz. Okay. Yep, looks like somebody robbed a little cigarette box for that, but it's probably on the other, it's probably in one of these piles. Neat old car, really bitchin' cool. What's really cool is, let's see if I can get it to do that. Oh, isn't that bitchin' cool? Alright. So, come on, do it again. No. Let me see. Okay. See how far that goes back? That's a great old seat. That's well worth redoing, reupholstering. And there it is. Shifts 3 off the column. And it's going to be a really neat car. Like I said, I'm not sure I'm keeping it or dealing it off. The big plus is the bodywork on the outside is in really good shape. I suspect that the floor pan's going to need some work. That's what I suspect. Really not bad at all. And yeah, there's the steel for the rear. I think I showed you that, yeah. And there's that license plate. Isn't that cool? Looks like Utah 87, October. That's when they threw in the towel the last time, huh? Well, there it is, gang. Another neat old Benz. Personally, I just like these little 4-cylinders. I think they're a lot easier to manage working on. Oh, hey, this is like a louver. So you'd pull this in with the cable, and this would come up to here, and then that would prevent the air hitting it in the winter, so it keeps it a little bit warmer. Man, look at that. It must have came from a cold climate, because Utah ain't really that cold. I've lived in Alaska, Sweden, Finland, everywhere. Believe me, it ain't that cold here. What a bitchin' cool old car. Look at that, Mercedes Benz. So, once you start getting to know these old Benz cars, you'll have ones that have 150K, 250K, 500K, and then you can contact Mercedes Benz and they'll give you that little badge with the high mileage. And pretty cool. Pretty cool. So there it is, gang, another one to deal with. Sat in a storage unit 15 some odd years before I got it. And there it is. 1959 Mercedes Benz Ponton 190 diesel. I'll catch you on the next video. Oh, wait a minute. There's all those seats that went with it. All these panels. Another set of seats, front and rear, which I'm going to be using on a whole nother car, which is real cool. I could really use those. There it is, gang. I'll see you on the next YouTube.